Hello, I'm Marcus Brix with the CattleFax Closing Bell. Today's Closing Bell is sponsored by VitaFirm. Gain Smart Wheat is a free choice vitamin and mineral supplement for stocker cattle designed to balance basic nutrient needs for maximized efficient gain on wheat or small grain pasture. Learn more at gainsmart.com. The latest data released from the Bureau of Labor Statistics posted median CPI inflation at 5.59% in November. Median CPI was lower than October's 7.1% measure, but remains in the top side of the range in the past 50 years of data. Keep in mind, the year-over-year inflation numbers look comparably worse against low inflation from recessionary growth in 2020. Median CPI inflation was 0.97% in November 2020. There were only 16 months since 1983 with inflation lower than 1%, or roughly 3% of the time in the data set. Unfortunately, the segments of the economy experiencing the worst inflation are some of the most necessary for everyday life: food and energy. The Food at Home Index rose 6.4% from a year ago, largest inflation print since 2008. Food away from home was up 5.8%, the highest annual change since January 1982. According to the USDA Economic Research Service, food spending makes up a sizable portion of income, especially for lower-income families. In 2020, the bottom 20% of earners spent an average of 27% of their income on food. By comparison, the top 20% of earners spent almost 3 times as much in raw value, but this only equates to roughly 7% of their income. U.S. average energy expenditures as a percent of income is around 5%, but can be as high as 10 to 20% for low-income earners. The recent BLS data showed energy costs rising 33% year-over-year in November. The gasoline price index specifically rose 58% versus November of last year. National average retail gas prices were $2.20 per gallon in November 2020 and began to rise last December. Last week, retail gasoline prices averaged $3.44. While 7 cents off the annual highs, prices are still 56% higher than last fall. Average retail diesel prices were $3.67 per gallon last week, roughly 50% above last fall. Spot crude oil futures rallied $5 per barrel this week after trading lower for 6 weeks prior and losing 25% of its value since November 1st. Spot RBOB gasoline futures gained 18 cents on the week after testing resistance at the 20-day moving average. Spot heating oil futures also spent several days testing its own 20-day moving average and will finish up 15 cents on the week. The U.S. dollar index was down this week by 10 cents to $96, its first week trading lower since October 18th. December live cattle futures were down $1 per hundredweight on the week, while April was lower by 40 cents. In the cash, fed cattle traded in the South at mostly $140 per hundredweight live, steady to mostly $2 lower than last week. Fed cattle traded in the North between $138 and $140 live, also $2 lower than last week on light trade volumes. Thanks for watching. Remember to visit CattleFax.com, become a member, or see the latest market news and analysis.